Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your girl, Nikki D, and this is the Beauty Cypher. And if you are new, hey girl, hey, thank you for clicking on. And remember, if you have not subscribed, go ahead and click subscribe, like, and the notification bell. All right, guys, so we are back with part two of my Sephora VIB sale recommendations. Girl, I didn't realize that video was going to be that long. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize it was going to be that long. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's get into it, honey. So, we're going to start off with blush. Now, I don't have any highlighter recommendations on here because I realized that all the highlighters I use are not like from Sephora. And the one Sephora collection highlighter I love, which I have on today, they've discontinued it. Ain't that about nothing? And I purchased that at the last VIB sale. So, no highlighters. But I do have blush. So, a couple of my blush recommendations. Now, again, I try to put 5, no more than 7 per category to give you guys, some variety. And some of them I have 5, some of them I don't. Some of them I have more, some of them I don't. So blush. Let's talk about blush. We're on skin products, right? Makeup. I'm sorry. So I don't have a lot of blushes, but it's ones I do recommend. The Pat McGrath Labs Skin Fetish powder blushes. They are amazing. I believe I have like 4 or 5 of them. Color payoff. You can't go wrong with Pat McGrath. I know she has a new line that came out for the holidays. And oh my gosh, she went down the wrong tube. I don't really know too much about that, but I know her original blushes are bomb. They are very pigmented. You only need a little. They'll last you a long time because you only need a little. Only need a little bit. They are matte. Some of them have shimmer, some of them don't, but they are anything Pat McGrath is pigmented. So those are some great blushes to pick up. Color payoff is awesome. Now, I've been really into cream blushes and bronzers this year. And one of my favorite is the Patrick Tar Major Headlines Double Take Cream Powder Duo Blush Palettes. I have a couple of them and amazing. Just amazing. They are duo with cream and then the powder blush. And the powder is not drying. It leaves, and when you put the cream, because the way Patrick Ty does his tutorial with his cream blushes is that you put the powder on first and then you put the cream on top of the powder. So it leaves a healthy shimmer, not even a shimmer, a healthy shine. The the blush is not matte, and it's just the color. Some of the colors you're looking like, oh, this might not look good on me, but when you put it on, it's like, oh, this color is nice. They are so nice. I think I have like 4 or 5 of the palettes now. I absolutely love those palettes. You cannot go wrong, and they last a long time on the skin. They don't dry down to a super matte. They don't dry down to a matte. They leave a healthy little shine. They are awesome. I love those palettes. Another one is the LYS Standard Matte Cream Highlighter. No, I'm sorry, bronzer. Lord, blush. Now these are cream blushes. They are LYS. Some of them are. I can't remember if now all of them are in store or you still have to purchase them all online. But these are very nice, affordable cream bronzers. These were I keep saying bronzer, cream blush. These were, I think, the first cream blush I purchased. And they're nice. They're nice. They're affordable. They're creamy. They do dry down to a matte. And they do have a nice color payoff. Nice. The next one I like is the One Size Clapper 3D blushes. Now, in the beginning, I did not like these because I thought they were too matte for me because Patrick Star is the oily girl's dream, right? And I'm like, oh, this doesn't look good, but the color payoff is amazing. And in these, you get a trio. So you get the cream blush, you get a powder blush, and then you get a highlighter, which I'm sure you can also use as a blush if you want it. Patrick Star does not skimp on pigmentation. You get three, and I want to say they're like $38. Yeah, I want to say it's $38. I think I have like three palettes, but three three blushes for $38 is really hard to beat. They are very, very good. The last one I have are the Sephora collection blushes. Like, I actually bought some of these the last VIB sale, like the last day. I'm like, oh, let me just pick up a couple. And I actually have one on today. Yo, I didn't realize these little blushes was so good. Like, nobody ever told me. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, we be sleeping on Sephora collection. And I think these blushes are like $12 plus 30% off. They are a matte, but they're very pigmented. I didn't very pigmented. You should absolutely try those. If you're looking for some affordable blush options, Sephora collection. I don't know what's going on with my hair right now. All right, now we're talking about bronzer. Again, Sephora collection. But listen, their bronzer is bomb. I believe I have two colors. I have Mykonos and Ibiza. They're matte bronzers, but they go on very nice and creamy, like easy to blend out. The color payoff is amazing. They last a long time. Very good quality bronzers. Like I pulled for those bronzers a lot more than a lot of my other bronzers. I call them bronzers. So you might hear me say bronzers a lot. I mean bronzer, but they're brown, so bronzers because they're that good. The next one I have, which I fell in love with this year, is the NARS Laguna Bronzing Cream. I love that bronzer. It's just creamy. It's the perfect color for me because I like my bronzers to have a tinge of warmth in them, a tinge of, I don't like those flat brown bronzers. I need it to be a little warm. And that Laguna 4 is the perfect bronzer for me. It blends out very easily. It's just beautiful. Love it. Another one is the Charlotte Tilbury Matte Bronzer. I like this bronzer. I think I bought number 3. So it doesn't show up really, really, really like I like it to. But if I'm a light makeup day, I use that. And I think I purchased number 4 as well, which I kind of mix sometimes 3 and 4 together because to get my perfect bronzer shade. But they last a long time. I think the issue for me with number 3 is I just had to build it up too much for my liking. But it is a great bronzer. I'm not going to hold it up. It is a great bronzer. The next one is the LYS No Limits Cream Bronzers. Now, what I like about these bronzers, they're very affordable. They're cream and they blend out so nicely. It's very nice. Their cream. I want their cream and contour bronzer. So let me say that. So that's my only issue, that they're more contourish than bronzing because they're cool toned, and I like my bronzers to be more warm toned. So I really wish they would come out with some more warm colors, but I still wear them. I have two colors. I still wear them. They're amazing. And if you haven't tried them, you should. Again, they're affordable. I want to say they're 20 or $22, and they come in a stick and they blend out perfectly. And if you would rather use them as a contouring, go right ahead. I don't contour. I don't contour. So it's a bronzer. It's a bronzer for me. The last one is the Skinty Sunstalker Instant Warmth Bronzers. It's just, I like them. I have Coco Mommy, which is really dark, but sometimes, I want to feel it. I want to look that way. And I have the other one, Coco Mommy, and I can't remember the other one right before Coco Mommy, but the color payoff is amazing. They last a long time, and you can't beat it, especially with this sale that's coming up. But those are my recommendations for bronzers. So the next two categories are maybe one and the same. It's setting powder and finishing powder. And I say that because some of these you can use as setting powders and finishing powder. Most of them actually you can. And some of them are just for that one purpose. But for the most part, some of them are interchangeable. So they may overlap. But when I think about setting powders, I'm mostly thinking of just setting my concealer or parts of my face, not the entire face. So here are some of my recommendations. The one that I fell in love with this year was the Milk Makeup Pore Eclipse Matte Translucent Talc-Free Powder. Now, because I am a dry girl, I do now look for a lot of the talc-free products, especially for setting under my eyes, because with the talc-free, it's not as drying as with the talc. The talc is the major ingredient to suck up the oils and dry everything out. And the talc-free products don't have that in them. Now, I did love this as a setting powder. I didn't like it as a finishing powder only because the the dark the darker powder had more of a red tinge to it. So it didn't do well for me. If it wasn't as warm, I would have liked that as well as a setting powder. But actually for my finishing powders, I do like it to be a little more matte. But as a setting powder, I love this Milk Makeup setting powder. It's not too hydrating underneath the eyes. It does give you a blurring effect, which I love. My only issue with that is it's small. It's very small for the price. I wish they would come out with a bigger version of it as compared to the industry standard. It is small. The other one, of course, OG Laura Mercier, either the original or the talc free. Take your pick. You can't go wrong. It's very finely milled. It's just a staple in everybody in everybody's makeup kit. I think everybody has a Laura Mercier setting powder, right? Next one, the One Size Ultimate Blurring Powder in Ultimate Pink. Y'all, I think I wear that setting powder more than I wear any other setting powder. I love that setting powder. And even though Patrick Star is more so for the oily girls, when I wear that, it does not dry me out excessively. I actually chiseled my face a little today with it. I love that setting powder, and it's good for complexion, any complexion, because the pink is dark. It reminds me of strawberry ice cream, that pink strawberry ice cream, because it has that dark pink color. A lot of complexions can wear it. The amount is not even a problem for me. That powder the is less finely milled than most of my other powders, but it doesn't even matter. It's beautiful. Like, you can't go wrong. And now they even have it in the mini. I wish they had it in a mini in the beginning, because I would have bought the mini, because I'm never going to use up that powder. It's so huge. But for the price point, you can't go wrong. If you're considering maybe that's too much, get the mini. They have it in the mini, but you will not. That powder is amazing. If you did not see my Battle of the Pink powders, I will link it above. You need to see that. Huda Beauty Bake Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder, another OG. I think I have almost every color in a setting powder except for the really light colors and the two darkest colors. But the pink cherry blossom was the first one I purchased, and that was actually the first pink setting powder that I purchased. And I love those Easy Bake Loose Setting Powders. They don't dry me out. They are flawless on the skin. You can't go wrong with those. And I want to try the Cinnamon one to see if I can use that as a all over face setting finishing powder. But that's another OG product. Like, it's a staple. You can't go wrong with that. If I did not have the Patrick Star, I would use the Huda Beauty. Now, one thing that may be off-putting with Huda Beauty is the fragrance. Those setting powders do have a fragrance. But even with the fragrance, a lot of people still love them. But if it's a no-go for you for fragrances, then that is not the setting powder for you. But if you don't mind the fragrance, that is one of the OG staple setting powders. The last one I have is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish Setting Powder. Now this I have in the light and the dark. So I use it as setting under my eyes, and I also use it as a finishing powder. This is one of the one of the only pressed powders that I have as a setting powder. But it's very, very good. It really brightens your eyes. Now, the number 2 is really, really yellow and really, really bright. The number 3, I usually use that when I don't want such a bright under eye. Now, I have, as an honorable mention, I have the Huda Beauty Baked Setting Powder. I actually have that on today. And I put that as an honorable mention because I do like it. Would this something I wear every day? Maybe not. Maybe not. But I do like it. That's an honorable mention. I do like it. All right. Finishing powders, which again, you can probably wear some of these as setting and finishing powders. The first one, Sephora Collection Micro Smooth Setting Powder. That is like my all-time favorite besides MAC finishing powder that I use. I have it on today all the time. It's only, I believe, $20 and you get 30% off. It's I would say medium coverage, so it doesn't really change the color of your makeup or your foundation when you put it on. It's beautiful. Again, I use that. I use that more than I use my MAC mineralized powder. Another one is a Givenchy Prism Libre loose powder and finish loose. It's a loose setting and finishing powder. So you can use this as both. And I have the pink and I have the number 5, which is the second to darkest. And this was surprising to me. I didn't think I was going to like it, but I love that powder. I even love the pink powder. It looks very, very light, but when you put it on, man, when I tell you, it just melts like butter. It is like butter on my skin. I was so shook. So shook. Um, those are beautiful powders. They are beautiful. They are so finely milled. Like it just melts in your hands. It just melts in your hands. Now they are more pricey, but they're worth it. It's worth it. Now maybe not as so much as the setting powder under your eyes, but as an all over face powder, that is a great powder. Now, a caveat, Givenchy has fragrance. So this is another one that has a fragrance. So if again fragrance is not your thing, then this powder is not for you. But if you don't mind, then it's a great powder. The next one is the Charlotte Tilbury, which you can use interchangeably as a setting or finishing powder. I have the lighter one that I set up under my eyes and the darker one that I use to set under my eyes and set my entire face. And it leaves you just an airbrushed finish, like an airbrush satiny kind of matte finish. It's a great powder. The next one is the Kosas Setting and Smoothing Talc Free Powder. Now, this is a very, very sheer powder. If you are a makeup minimalist and you don't like a lot of product, this is a great powder for you. It comes in a couple of shades. I have it in a couple of shades because I do use it if I'm out. It's a pressed powder. If I'm out somewhere and I just want to touch up, like under my eyes, I'm starting to sweat or something, I can use that to set up on or touch up under my eyes. It's not, it's a sheer coverage powder, so it doesn't change the color of the foundation or the concealer. It's just merely to pat, 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 dry it up. I have it in a couple colors for that and as a finishing powder. But again, it's very, very sheer. Even on a day where I'm like, I don't want to put on makeup, but I just want to look even. You can brush that on your face. Like, again, a very sheer coverage. Doesn't give you a whole lot of color, but it does give you a nice, radiant, like sun-kissed look. It's affordable and it's a clean brand at Sephora, but it's a very nice powder. A very nice powder. The last powder I have, which is actually a powder foundation, is the Sephora Collection Best Skin Ever Matte Powder Foundation. Now, I like this as a matte foundation, but I also like this as a finishing powder. It does give you more coverage than a micro smooth powder because it's a foundation. So, but it's very mattifying. So if you're a very oily girl or you have on very radiant foundations and you need something to balance it out, that's a great powder to finish off your makeup. You can wear, and because it's a matte foundation, you can wear it alone. You can put it on top of your makeup. Now, I would probably use it more with a medium coverage foundation or sheer foundation because it is a matte foundation. It can change the color of your base if you put too much on. All right, the next category we have here. What is next? Eyeshadow palettes. So, I don't have a lot of specifics for eyeshadow. Oh, yes, okay, maybe. Yeah, okay, let's talk about them. So, my first palette that I recommend is the Too Faced Born This Way Sunset Strip Eyeshadow Palette. Now, this is an all-purpose, everyday palette. I love this palette. I would take this palette when I'm traveling because I can get a couple of looks out of it. I actually used the palette today. I love this. This is my favorite all-purpose palette. Like, you get a quick look. Hey, you just need to go to work. Boom, boom, boom. We having a Zoom call. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we're going out. We're hanging out with the girls. Okay, boom, boom, boom. It's no muss, no fuss. I love this palette. You can get so many looks, and it's a it's a neutral palette. It has shimmers. It has mattes. I can't say enough about this palette. This is like one of my all-time favorite palettes that I will always have in my collection. The next one is the Danessa Myricks Groundwork palette. Now, I like this palette. I like this palette. I like the concept of the palette. I like that it's very, I won't say universal, but you can use it for a lot of different things. I used it to do my eyebrows. I used it as a bronzer. I used it as the eye finish, and I use it as a contour to contour my nose. I haven't tried it on the lips yet, but I do like it. I do like it in those regards. Like if I'm traveling and let's say I didn't want to take my eyeliner and I didn't want to take a bronzer, or if I'm going away just for a quick day trip or weekend trip, I can take this one palette and not only get eye looks, but do my eyebrows, do my bronzing and contour. So I love that. And the formula, it has a velvet pomade formula and then the powder formula. The velvet pomade is not, it doesn't look quite like, it doesn't look like gel, but it goes on like a gel and it stays put. It stays put. So I love that palette, and it's very, I love that about that palette. The next two palettes that I also recommend are the Patrick Tar Major Dimensions palettes. Now I only have two that I like. It's the Major Dimensions 3 matte eyeshadow palette and the Major Dimensions 2 rose eyeshadow palette. The rose eyeshadow palette has a lot of your rosy mauve colors, but that's also something that you can use on a daily basis because it's not too, you can use it for everyday looks. Now the matte palette, I like that palette too. It has 8 eyeshadows and then two gel formulas. You can use, now his gels look like gel, and you can also use them as eyebrow, to do your eyebrows. Also, I used it as eyeliner. So it's a great neutral. It's all matte. If you don't want any shimmers, now the Danessa Myricks also is all matte. The Sunset Strip is matte and shimmer, but the Major Dimensions matte eyeshadow palette is all matte, and the Danessa Myrick Groundwork palette is all matte. So if you don't mind having an all matte palette, absolutely. And because they're multifunctional, the Danessa Myricks and the Patrick Ta, then that's great. Both of them, actually, the formula is very, very creamy. It's a very, very creamy formula. I love Patrick Ta. It's just his, I don't know what he puts in his eyeshadows, but it is so creamy and it's just so, so nice. But don't get me wrong, the Danessa Myricks is awesome as well. If you have one or the other, do you need both? I don't necessarily think you need both. So choose one. Now, the Major Dimensions 2 Rose palette, it has mattes, shimmers, and gels. And that's a beautiful palette. Beautiful. The next one, and this is not an individual palette. I'm just saying, because it's a sale, if you love Pat McGrath, this will be a great time to get a palette from her because it's 20% off, 10% off, 15% off. Another one is Natasha Denona. If you loved Natasha Denona and you were thinking about getting a couple of her palettes, it's on sale. I have a few of her palettes. Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath. We know, oh, girl, the bugs. I'm sorry. We know that their formulas are amazing. I can't say that I've used a Natasha Denona palette or Pat McGrath palette and the color was skimpy. The color was lacking. The pigment was lacking. You will never say that about either one of those. So because they're on sale, it's a great time to pick up any of those palettes. Setting sprays. So I only have 2 setting sprays. Listen. The other setting sprays that I've tried, Sephora doesn't sell them. So, but my number one setting spray that I probably use all the time is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Setting Spray. When I tell you my makeup don't move, honey, my makeup don't move when I put that on. And I think I'm at half bottle. My makeup does not move, honey. Listen, yeah, that's the spray. That's my number one setting spray that I use above anything. Another setting spray, which is new to me, that I just purchased last month, that I really love, it's the LYS Skin Loyalty Setting Spray. Now that gives you a natural finish. I actually have it on today, so it's not overly radiant or glowy. It just gives you a nice natural finish. And I wore this today, the LYS setting spray, because I have on the YSL Luminous Matte foundation. So I didn't want it to be super, super matte. So I put that on, and you can see it's not, I mean, I'm a little glowy, but it's not, it's not a ridiculous glow. I'm actually like that setting spray. I was very surprised, and I didn't think I would like it, but I do like it. It's very nice, and it's affordable, and it's on sale. Now, I can't say much or anything really about the Patrick Star setting spray because I don't have it. And it's been out of stock since you girls have found out that that's what Beyonce be wearing on her tour. So y'all just went and bought up all the freaking one star Patrick Star, one size setting sprays in the whole Sephora. Like it ain't none nowhere. But I see now, I got a notification that they are in stock. I have it in my cart. So hopefully it will be in stock on Friday so I can order it. And I will let you know how I feel about that setting powder. If y'all don't get it before I get my hands on it. So now let's talk about lips. I don't even have a lot for lips because I realize majority of my lip products don't come from Sephora either. That's crazy. So one that I do love is the Ami Colé line. The Ami Colé lip oil is bomb. I have one color, I think 517, and I have it in my purse. I love that lip oil. Now it is very glossy. It puts you in the mind of the MAC lip glasses. It's kind of thick, so if you're one who likes thinner lip oil, that might not be the lip oil for you, but it lasts all day. The shine lasts all day. It's wonderful. And I believe it's only $20. Another lip product is the Sephora Collection Lip Stain Liquid Lipstick. Now, I've been buying this for years. This year, I think the past couple years, they have a holiday set, which if you haven't tried it, the lip stains, you may want to try them, but they're only $15 and they'll be 30% off during the sale. If you love a liquid lip stain, this is for you. This lip stain dries down, does not move, and it does not dry your lips out. Like I was shook for $15. I have so many, I'm looking, trying to count. I have so many colors of this lip stain. They're awesome. They're awesome. I think I purchased, especially during COVID, I purchased so many because we were wearing a mask. They did not move. I put it on in the morning. I had on my mask, I take my mask off. They did not move. They did not move. And they do not dry your lips. Another one are the Fenty Gloss Bombs, whichever one. I have so many of them. Like I love the gloss bombs, whether it's the cream, the regular, all of them. I think I have some of the plumping ones. Like I love the way it smells. I love that they're juicy and creamy. And she has a new limited edition one out. It's called Hologram. And girl, y'all done bought it out. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot my thing is here. Girl, y'all done bought that out already. I went online today and I'm like, it's sold out almost every Sephora. They do have them at some Kohl's, but I'm like, y'all done bought all the freaking dang on Fenty hologram limited edition gloss bombs already. That don't make no sense. But you know, I'm still trying to find. I'm gonna have to go to Kohl's tomorrow and get it because I feel like it's not gonna be here on Friday. Another thing I like is the Sephora Matte Collection Velvet Lipstick, and I actually have that on right now. This is new, y'all. This is such a nice lipstick. It is so nice. It is so nice. I like it, and I think I want to get a couple more colors. I forgot what color this is that I have on, but I'll link it below. Y'all, I keep telling y'all, sleeping on Sephora. This lipstick, mm, mm, mm. It's the new matte velvet lipstick. It is just so nice. And I believe it's $20. It glides on the color. It just love it. Y'all sleeping on Sephora. The next one is a Armani Lip Maestro Liquid Matte Lipstick. I got this as a sample in one of my orders. I got the Maestro 400, that beautiful red. Girl, when I tell you I put that on, and it is so matte and velvet and nice, and it does not dry your lips. I'm going to have to purchase the full size one. Armani did that. I'm like, oh, I love a good, nice liquid lip. I love a good liquid lip. I don't know about y'all, but honey, I love me a good liquid lip. The last one is the Sephora Collection Glossed Lip Gloss. I have that on today. Y'all, their lip gloss, the lip, I believe, and I think they're $12. They are very nice. They put you in the mind of any other lip gloss, like any other lip gloss you can think of. Mm-hmm. It's that. It's that. They are a very nice lip gloss. And I didn't put a whole lot on, but when you put it on a lot, because I was rushing, so I didn't put a whole lot, but it's very nice. Very nice. So the last things I have are just miscellaneous, right? I think most of them are Sephora stuff. The Sephora Collection makeup brushes. Y'all, I have so many Sephora makeup brushes in my set, and I've had them for years. They last a long time. I have some of the originals that they reform that they don't make anymore because now all of the brushes are synthetic. But if you guys have not tried a Sephora Collection brush, you're missing out. They are very high quality brushes. And right now they have this set that's it's a 95, it's like $100 and some dollar value for $95. And I believe you get 5 brushes. I'm definitely going to pick that up because their brushes are awesome. Sephora Collection lashes. I kind of stumbled on this the last VIB sale, but the Sephora Collection lashes, girl, I was sleeping. I'm gonna get some more because they were like, I think I got them for like $5. Check those out. They are really nice quality lashes. Cinema Secrets makeup brush cleanser. I'm like all out of mine. This has become my favorite brush cleaner. We had a love-hate relationship at first because I didn't know how to use it. It was user error and I messed up some of my brushes. But I love that brush cleanser now. And now that I'm cleaning more brushes all the time, it is so convenient. I like the lemon scent. I've never purchased the blue one. I've only purchased the citrus smell one. The liquid the liquid beauty blender cleanser. I love that beauty blender cleanser. I think I have one left. So every time there's a sale, I buy a couple because I'm cleansing my beauty blenders. Well, I'm cleansing my beauty sponges because they're not beauty blenders. So I'm cleansing my beauty sponges all the time now. And I hate that it's such a small bottle. So I end up mixing that with some Dawn in the water to cleanse my brushes. But I do like the way it cleanses my brushes, my sponges. This is one, I guess this is kind of an expensive sponge, but I love it. It's the Kosas dual ended makeup blender sponge. I love this sponge for concealer, for blending out my concealer, for cleaning up my eyebrows. Even if I need to blend out my contour on my nose, this little sponge is, excuse me, multi-purpose. I know it's like $14.99. I always buy one at the VIB sale. I kind of happened on this brush as well, this blender as well, because it was only sold on Kosas, and I think at one point I bought some stuff from Kosas and they were giving 20% off, and I tried it, or it was on sale because I guess they wanted people to try it. And I fell in love with this little sponge, honey. So every time there's a sale, I buy one because I use it very often. The last thing I have is a Sephora collection total sponge. I love this little sponge. I happened upon this at a VIB sale. I'm like, oh, let me just see what it is. And I love the pointiness of it. This is another one I use under eyes and to get in those little spaces that's hard to get. It expands to a nice size. I wouldn't use it so much for my foundation because it's so pointy. But for concealer, to cleaning up the eyebrows, it's perfect sponge. Yeah. Woo. That was a mouthful. This is the end of my recommendations. This is the end of my part 2. Guys, comment down below. Let me know what you liked. Even if some things I said you didn't like, what are the things that you're going to pick up? Some things that you're not going to pick up. Like, what is your list looking like for this sale? Let me know. All right, guys. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you for staying with me while I talked about this favorites of mine. And if you have not, girl, go ahead and click that subscribe button, click the like button, unless YouTube know that you like what I'm doing, and click the notification bell. And girls, that's it. My mouth is dry. I gotta go. I will see y'all in my next video.